Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I made my double door Christmas garland. The first thing that you're going to want to do is measure your door and see how long of a garland you're going to need. For my double door, I needed 18 feet, so I used two 9-foot long garlands. This is just the plain garland I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just laid it out and fluffed it. So I decided to use a navy and burlap colored mesh ribbon first. You're going to want to get kind of the widest mesh that you can find because it's going to give the biggest impact. I started about 3 or 4 inches from the bottom, and I left about a foot hanging on my mesh and then cut it at an angle. And then I just take 2 pieces of the garland and wrap it around my bunched up section. I just kind of eyeballed the sections that I wanted bubbled up. I didn't measure. If you want to be super precise, you could measure, and I would say each section was probably about 16 inches wide. And so I just continued down the entire garland, bunching it up. I just kind of folded and pinched the 2 sides together. I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the rest of the process of the mesh part. I just continued down the 9-foot garland, pinching and wrapping it with the garland pieces. At the very end, I cut at an angle and left about a foot hanging because it does tend to roll up on itself there at the end. The next thing that I'm going to add are 2 different ribbons. These were both about 1.5 inches wide. You could use different sizes, different colors, whatever you feel looks good. I went with a navy shiny ribbon that was edged in gold, and then a more like sheer gold ribbon. So I started in the same exact place I had pinched my first mesh portion, and I used those same little pieces of garland to wrap the first section of ribbon. Now the difference with the ribbon is that I'm going to skip every other pinched section from my mesh. So you'll see me pass over that first section, and I'm not going to attach it until the next portion. And what that does is it gives a little bit of a flow, so everything's not just exact pinched every single section. If you choose to do it that way, that's perfectly fine too. I feel like this gives it a little bit more free-flowing motion. And so I just take my ribbon and pinch it together, and I'm going to look. Right now I'm looking to see if there's like a front or a back to the ribbon. If your ribbon has a shiny side and a dull side, you want to make sure that the shiny side is always facing up. So when you pinch it together, just make sure that you're flipping the ribbon for your next section just to make sure it's always facing up. Both of these ribbons happen to not have a front or back, so I'm not needing to be quite as careful about that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to have the navy ribbon. It was on the left side first. Now I'm going to have it go to the right side, and so on and so forth. So I'll kind of go back and forth on which side the ribbons are laying. And so then I'll just continue to skip every other pinched section to attach these new ribbons to. I usually like to leave a little bit more of a tail on the ribbon, but I ran out of the blue one, so I just cut it where I had to. Okay, I wanted to show you how I measure my door. I measured all the way atop, and then you're going to want to measure how far down you want the garland to hang. So because my total measurement was 18 feet, and the garland comes in 9-foot sections, that means I have to use 2. So I needed to know the measurement from the middle of the double doors to the corner because I'll have to bend the garland and I want the heaviest section to be in the corners. So I'll have two big bows in the corners with ornaments. I already made one whole 9-foot section. So the one that I'm walking you through step by step is my second garland. So here I'm just showing you how right now I have a white ornament in the middle, but I think I'm going to take that off and do some bells instead. But I need to make sure that my second garland has the same exact, corner and measurement as this one. Okay, so my measurement is 42 inches. So I'm going to straighten this piece out as much as I can and measure. 42, it's right about here. Which is actually where I already have been in it. Okay. So bend that, and then that will be my main section. Yep. Okay. My cat is now my centerpiece. Mando, hi. Say hi to the world. This is Mando. Okay, so next we'll make a bow. Okay, to start this ribbon, we have our tail, and then I'm going to fold together my pieces and twist so that the top of the bow is here, so I can just drag my other piece up and start pinching this part together. Then I will twist to make my other side. Trying to make sure they're kind of the same. I switch hands because I'm gonna pinch it together with that hand. Kind of the same. Twist. I'm going to do 3 loops on each side of each color. So with this ribbon, it doesn't really have a front or back, so it doesn't really matter. But if you had a ribbon that had, shiny on one side or polka dots on one side, then you'd want to be more specific with making sure you twist to have the top showing. With this ribbon, it doesn't matter so much, but just know that. Oops. So this type of bow works for pretty much anything, but I'm not being as specific about making sure it's perfect because we're going to be hot gluing a bunch of balls on it, so it won't need to be quite as pretty in the middle. I did 3. I may have only done 2. Let me double check. I may have only done 2 things on that one. Yeah, okay. So only on my other bow, I only did 2 loops on each side of each color. So I'm gonna stop there, cut it at an angle, then grab my other color, leave a tail, pinch, 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 twist, make my first bow, pinch, 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 twist. Make my next loop. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Twist. This ribbon also doesn't really have a front and a back. They're both kind of shiny. Make my next loop. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Twist. No, no. Okay. And then cut at an angle. All right. Then you will take floral wire, wrap that around, pull it tight, and twist. So now you have your two different colors and you want to kind of make them even. So you just start pulling. So pull the blue down so it can alternate. Blue, gold, blue, gold. See there? So you can manipulate it however you need to once it's in the wire. And poof it out. There you have your bow. So I'm going to use the floral wire tail to connect it to the garland. Right in the corner. Okay, I went ahead and brought the second garland down on the floor and put it right underneath the one I already made. So that way I can compare them and make them look pretty similar so they don't look totally wonky. All right, now I'm going to hot glue my ornaments on. I just chose some plastic, well, this one's glass, but the other ones are plastic ones from Walmart. So really there wasn't a whole lot to choose from Walmart. And so some of these are damaged, like this one has some red on it, and this one has a big old chunk of blue taken out, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be hot gluing them pretty side out. I have my pajamas on, so. All right, see if I can do this upside down. So the first one I'm gonna do, I think, is the white one. It's kind of like right here. And you can kind of like maneuver your bow around it so that way your bow is still kind of poofy around the sides. So I kind of take a look to see what part of the ornament's going to be touching the ribbon so I can put my glue there. So I'll put some glue right here. Hold it there for a sec. Okay, next I'll do this one. I have this one kind of up. So next I want the sides to look somewhat similar. So I'm going to use the same gold ball kind of in the middle to give some weight there, and then a few smaller balls. Okay, so I'm thinking for the centerpiece, I'll take these bells, kind of put them together like this, and make like just a regular bow tie bow for the top of that. That'll be cute, right? So I'm gonna cut off the burlap twine because it doesn't really go and it's just gonna get in my way. It's really cute though, but it's not the vibe I'm going for. Okay, maybe I'll wire them together first. My cat got into my floral wire, so now I just have a hot mess of wire that I keep in this Ziploc bag. So I kept the clipper thing and I just take out what I need and clip it. Okay. So I'll make it pretty long so I can wire this on when I'm done. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just make it and then hang up the garland and then wire this on after the fact because I'm not gonna be able to hang both pieces with the centerpiece on it. Oh geez. That should be good. We'll hang like that. All right, now let's make a bow. To be pretty big. Looks pretty good. my phone died at some point. So here's the finished product. I added 2 blue balls, one here and one there, because my gold ones were not even. So I needed to fix that. So putting a blue ball on top of this one and a blue ball under that one made it somewhat even. And then I added a gold ball at the bottom of each side. And for the gold ball, I actually just used wire to wire it on because the hot glue was taking forever to dry with it hanging. I did glue the blue ones on because I could have wired that one, but this one was upside down and it would have been a little bit harder to wire on. So you can do either, depending on how your ornament is laying. You can actually just wire it on instead of hot gluing it. So the garland was hanging kind of off the wall. So what I ended up doing was hot gluing it to the brick. I'll just be able to pull it off when I'm done. So not a big deal. I'm really, really happy with it. I love the way the bells kind of tied it together in the middle. I just wired it to the screw in the wall. Speaking of the screw, my husband just drilled masonry screws into the brick for me, and they're not very obvious or visible when the garland's not up there, so I'm not worried about leaving them up. This is just so pretty. I imagine I'll do a different theme each year. Like this year we're doing blues and golds and silvers, but next year we'll probably go back to red and green just to change it up. So cute. I hope this helped you guys. I'm not completely done decorating my front porch. Still need to get a rug to match, and I think I'll keep this hanging, but I don't know, I'll play around with it and play around with my plants. I'll be bringing some stuff inside for the cold weather. Still have my coleus out here. So my next plan is to change out the coleus. I'm gonna save it, and then I'm going to do some big bows hanging from the gas lanterns. I think that'll be fun. I can do another shot in the morning, get a good picture in the morning when it's daylight. Love it.